Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Welcome, everyone, to Make Your Day Richer. We're trying something new, okay? This is week 3. We're on week 3 of the show. We're still trying to figure out the lighting. Usually there's a light in my glasses, so we're working on that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Also, I'm not good at reading a teleprompter. I mean, I'm good at reading a teleprompter, but then it always comes out like I'm reading a teleprompter. So maybe that means I'm not good at reading a teleprompter. Anyway, so instead of me giving you a big spiel about who's on the show, I'm just going to tell you who's on the show and why I'm excited that they're here. And then we're going to start the show, okay? Okay. Anyway, there we go. All right, so on today's show, we have Alexandra Beller. Very excited to talk to her. She has a new book coming out called The Anatomy of Art, Unlocking the Creative Process for Theater and Dance. I was a theater major. I don't know if you know that or not. I was a theater major at UW-Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I read that she also went there around the same time that I was. So I'm going to talk to her about that and see if if we were there at the same time. So we'll see. We're also going to play a game, talk about her dance career. She's a choreographer. She's amazing. So stick around for that. All right? Hit it, Big Infinite.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
All right, Alexandra, we made it to the show.
We made it.
Have been trying, begging Alexandra to come on the show, and she's been too busy, and so we finally got her for season 2, and I couldn't be happier. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. When I was reading the notes, I have to bring this up. Did you go to UW-Milwaukee?
Yes, I got my MFA there.
So did I.
Oh my God.
And I think we were there the same years.
Well, I was in the low residency program. So I was just there in the summers, okay. 2006 and 2007.
Yeah, I graduated in 2007.
Okay.
So we probably walked across the street. I was in the theater building. I was a theater major. You
okay. Awesome. At Peck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out UWM. And then I worked there for a long time. So awesome. Come on. Where are you originally from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, and Milwaukee just...
They had a good low residency dance program, and they were really supportive of people who were like entrenched in an established professional career, which is, it's hard to find a grad program that doesn't want you to silo yourself for 2 or 3 years. They were like, no, we want like working professionals actively, can't take off years for grad school, but need an MFA for whatever, usually for your pedagogy. Mm-hmm. And so they did a great low residency program, just 6 weeks in the summer, and then some, online virtual stuff during the year. So it just worked out perfectly for me and, ended up being my place.
I love that. Love that. Tell everybody, I want to get to your book. I want to get to the Anatomy of Art, because to me, that's was the main reason why I wanted to have you on here, because I love the book. But tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do out there in the world.
Well, it shifts and changes. I have a neurodiverse brain, and so I think novelty and having a lot of different hats to wear really suits my life and my personality. But I do feel like they're all connected by some kind of value system and interest and curiosity and mission. So I would say I teach movement. I teach somatics, which is the mind-body connection for me through movement. I do private client work. I coach artists in their art, their careers. I choreograph and direct and do intimacy direction for theater. And I'm writing 2 books and raising 2 kids. I think that's everything.
And then we wonder why, how come she couldn't make it on the show in season 1? Because she's busy. That's awesome. Is that what you wanted to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
Oh, I mean, dance was what I wanted to do. I wanted to dance. I wanted to perform. And I did that. And then I really got a bug to choreograph and create. And I was creating work that was very cuspy with theater, like lots of lots of theater always integrated into my choreography. We were always speaking ever since my like undergraduate work. Um, and then I sort of lost the bug to be on stage, but really wanted to keep creating. But I also had fallen in love with teaching and coaching artists. And all of that led me to get my CMA, which is Certified Movement Analyst. Laban Bartenieff is the system, and that's the degree they offer. And it's really um, being able to observe and analyze and interpret the human body towards meaning, which integrates beautifully with theater and dance. So that really brought me into choreographing for theater, which led me to essentially fold my dance company because I was now getting hired to choreograph and felt good to leave behind all of the some of the logistics of running a company and self-producing and fundraising and all of that felt really pleasant to leave that behind
Yeah.
and to enter theater. And then I started to miss that feeling of being able to like have an idea and just follow it and pursue it. So that led me into directing. So it's just been, following the threads and tangents and curiosities, fascinations, and passions.
Oh, I usually save this question for last, but I'm going to ask you now of what do you love most about your life right now?
What a great question. I really treasure being surrounded by a community of pretty like-minded humans that are interested in human rights and supporting other human beings, whether that's professionally or personally. Especially right now in this country, it just feels I'm really loving that I'm around really what I consider good people. I love that wherever I turn feels like there's an outlet for creativity.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised that my choreography and directing, you know, f- passion got fed and nourished by writing. I wasn't expecting it to be quite such a delicious creative nourishment. And I'm loving watching my kids become big humans that are just going to be on their own in their world with their own value system and their own interests and directions and ways of being and relating.
How old are your kids?
Almost 14 and almost 19.
Wow.
So I just dropped one off at college and the other one's starting high school.
Are they creative? Are they going into art
Yeah.
world or?
My eldest is a game designer
Oh,
and quite a beautiful philosopher about like the psychology of human beings and what makes them tick and morality. So I love his perspective on game design isn't just about, fancy graphics or shooting or, it's really about like psychology and relationships and communication in a way that's really fascinating to me. And my youngest right now is a little skater dude. um, but they're both quite beautiful dancers and thinkers and feelers.
how does it feel to raise good kids? Because it sounds like they're really good kids.
I hope so. I mean, right now they are, and I hope they continue to grow into that. It's a lot of responsibility, especially like identifying as white. And right now they both identify as straight male. It's like feels like a lot of responsibility to
Yeah.
the future to be like, look, great men,
Yeah.
great white men, great
I
straight white men.
promise.
Like, here
Yeah.
we go. Let's do it.
Yeah. I love that. I want to talk about your book, The
Yeah.
Anatomy of Art: Unlocking the Creative Process. How tell everybody about the book and what they're going to find in it.
Okay. It started about 8 years ago. So it feels like a really long time ago. It is a really long time ago. I was running a lot of workshops where I was coaching artists on their art, and I was trying to find the right inroad for feedback. I used a lot of Liz Lerman's critical response process and some of my own material. And I found that I was mostly just asking questions, but trying to like zoom out and zoom in and try to figure out like what's the perfect question. And I noticed that often I would say a question or someone else in the room would say a question and the whole room would just come a bit more alive. That the perfect question felt like it unlocked something in the artist. And it wasn't that we were giving them advice or telling them what to do or telling them even our opinions, what we liked or didn't like. We were just asking a really valuable sculpted question. And I was noticing how profound a response these questions got. So I was like, oh, I should write all these questions down, turn them into a book, which I started to do. And then, of course, the questions needed topics. And then I felt like a book of questions is interesting in a kind of niche, almost kitschy way, but it's not vulnerable on my part. It was, I don't know. It felt a little bit omniscient. And I thought, like, I need to make a statement too, because a statement's going to feel in this context more vulnerable. And if I'm asking for vulnerability, I want to model it. So I started writing essays on each of these topics. And then it just kept ballooning out. For one of those essays, I did a score. And then I was like, oh, I should do a score for every essay. And then for one of the essays, I did an embodiment exercise. Oh, we should do that for every topic. So now it's this like book has ballooned out to be part essay, part memoir, part workbook. There's an embodiment exercise, a creative exercise, a score, writing prompts, and about 50 or 60 questions per chapter. So it's like the artist's way, but for artists. The artist way was like for everybody, which is amazing. And then this is really for people who consider themselves to have an artistic practice, whether it's their profession or not. Because the book definitely is coming in midstream of your creativity. It's for people who have found their creativity, found it and lost it, found it and are bored by it, found it and want to grow it. But for people that consider themselves in some ways a creative, this is a book to help you release habit, bias, to find your voice more authentically, to challenge some places maybe you have just leaned back into your inheritance without really looking at it. Like, oh, I don't know, that's the way I was taught. That's the way it's always been done. Okay, great. Let's look at it. Maybe it's the way you still want to do it, but maybe there's more juice in there for you.
That's it's its own work of art. It's really what it is. What are you hearing from the people that have picked it up and reached out to you?
I mean, I'm shy to say. I'm shy to repeat it a little bit.
That's why I ask. This is all about you.
Um, I got a lot of responses to it that made me shy and nervous. Like, oh no, I don't know if I can write the book you're saying this is. I did do a lot of lit review beforehand and was trying to feel out like, where is this sitting in the landscape? And I did feel like, God, we do not have this book. Like, where is our choreography? I'm saying this in the most non-religious way possible. Bible, like, where is our Bible around the creative process? Because I do think that for a lot of artists, it's such a sacred practice. And we need texts that are Bible is such a wrong term because this book is trying to be so non-directional in a certain way. Like, it's not trying to direct you to be a certain person, a certain artist, have a certain aesthetic, meet certain markers, but it is really challenging you to ask yourself, what are your values? What's sacred to you? What are your rituals? What are your practices? What are your strategies? And define them for yourself in a way that allows you to have real propulsion in your own art life.
And I believe everybody should have an artistic practice of some sort.
Yeah.
That's life. Alexandra, what is the best way that people can connect with you out there in the world?
I'm probably too reachable on the internet. My website, alexandrabellerdances.org, is the hub for all my stuff. And it's got a link to a website about the book, and all my other projects and courses, et cetera, are locatable through that hub.
Okay, good. Did you also say that you were working on another book? Is that what you said?
I am, yeah. I'm co-authoring a book for music conductors, trying to find more embodiment for conductors through this Laban Bartenieff system I mentioned before. And you think of music conductors as being like so expressive and, passionate. But a lot of it gets kind of conditioned out of them working on the science and the metrics and the specificity of notes and breaks and different instruments. And I think getting back into their bodies is something that is such a huge invitation for them. So this book is about how to bring conductors really into their sensing, feeling, intuiting bodies, and to conduct from that place as well as that really beautiful analytical brainy place.
Do we have a release date for that yet?
It's about the same time. It's like next spring, 2026. I should have 2 books on the shelf.
Well, that means 3. Oh, wait, so the Anatomy of Art isn't out either yet?
Oh, May 2026 from Bloomsbury.
That means we have to come back. I don't want to pressure you into 2 appearances in one season since I'm lucky enough to get you once. So maybe a 3rd season come back.
You got it.
For those books. Okay. Before we head out today, will you play a game with me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's called Dance or Deception.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Dance if you think it's correct. Deception if you don't think it's correct. And they're all dance related.
Okay.
And I was going to say, if you get 3 out of 5, the entire non-existent studio audience gets a copy of The Anatomy of Art. So you'll come back in May.
Okay.
The entire audience will come back and get a copy. Okay. Ready?
Amazing. Yes.
All right. Number 1. The moonwalk first was performed by Michael Jackson.
See, I would say dance, but I could be wrong.
You would be wrong.
It's deception.
Deception.
Who originated the moonwalk?
Well, I'll tell you. Hold on one second. I knew I should have written this down, and I didn't. Let's see. Hold on. Pause, everyone. How do you get to where I did this? Wait for it. Hold, please. Here we go. And scene. He popularized it in 1983, but the move existed earlier. Cab Calloway and street dancers were doing variations decades before.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Now that we know the answer, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Number 2. There's a dance style called whacking, W-A-A-C-K-I-N-G, that originated in disco clubs.
Oh, that is the dance.
You are correct, Alexandra. You are correct. The cha-cha was invented by a Cuban chef who danced while chopping onions.
I mean, I want that to be true so badly, I'm going to say dance.
Oh, you would be wrong.
And I want it to be the truth.
It's okay. You could start doing that.
Okay. I do that.
Well, next time we'll do a cooking segment with you, and we'll.
Let's be honest. I definitely dance while I cook.
Of course. Ballet dancers wear shoes filled with sand to improve balance.
No. Deception.
Correct. Last question. In 2012, a flash mob of 1,500 people danced the Macarena in Times Square.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I would have heard about that, but again, I want it to be true, so I'm going to say dance.
It is true. Everyone in the audience.
How am I in New York and I hadn't heard of that one?
I know. Well, now we also have to do that again. I think we should bring back the Macarena, because who doesn't miss that?
Except for the point shoes. Those were all guesses, but.
Yeah. I think you did a great job. And I thank you for being here. Thank you. Yes, of course. Come back anytime. Come back when the books come out as well.
I will.
Okay, good. Alexandra, thank you. Don't go away. We're going to be right back after this. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back, everyone. It's a big week here, not just on the show, but in my life. My dad is flying in from Wisconsin on Thursday morning, so he'll be here for the weekend because I've got some gigs coming up that I want to tell you about. and he gets excited, so he comes for them. But Thursday night, I will be emceeing a fundraising event for the Charlotte Speech and Hearing Center. They provide access to superior speech language and hearing services that empower and transform lives. So I will be there as the MC, so we're going to raise some money for them. I think there might be some tickets left. So if you want to, go to charlottespeechhearing.com if you want tickets to that, and come join us. It's going to be a really fun night, and you'll get to meet my dad. So there's that. Okay. All right. And then I'll tell you more. There's Autumn Treasures coming up. We've got new podcast episodes from Before You Go, which actually, these all came out today. Today's Monday. Yes. Before You Go, new episode. Gorilla HR and Introspection all have new episodes. So I'm going to show you a clip of Introspection right now from Grief to Growth. Take a look at this.
So fast forward to today, most people die in hospitals. Funeral homes take over very quickly. Mourning rituals are shorter and often very private. Nowadays, people might get 3 days off from work and then be expected to return and function as if nothing happened. So basically, we live in a culture where death is invisible. And because of that, most of us grow up without a language, without words for grief. We're not taught how to talk about it. We're not taught how to sit with somebody who's grieving. Silence becomes the default, or maybe even worse. We feel awkward and sometimes say something strange, uneducated, or just, bizarre.
You can learn about everything Amy's doing over there at introspection.com, right there on your screen. And if you need help with your podcast, send me an email at makeyourdayricher@gmail.com, and we can hook you up and get you started. On tomorrow's show, Frankie Corcoran is here. He has a show very similar to ours. It's called the Corcoran Entertainment Show. He has a production company. He's a playwright. He has a play coming up in November that we're going to talk about. We're going to play a little game together. So stick around for tomorrow, okay? Well, don't stick around. Don't sit here. Come back tomorrow for Frankie's episode and meet Frankie. Have a great day, everyone. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.